What's up? Daily discipline will get black men out of a self-destructive mentality. Now, there's any black man out there who's trying to self-improve, who's trying to become a better version of himself, who's trying to organize and come together with other black men in the community. Not only that, but having a grounded identity in being black, learning black history, becoming more financially literate, eating healthier and a more calisthenics based workout plan, things like that to get healthier, stronger, have a more grounded identity, and coming together with other black men and a lot more things. I have a deep dive guide on that. And if you're interested in that as a black man, you're trying to increase yourself in those ways, the link for that will be in the comments of this video, the description of this video. And if you click on my channel in the bio section, you'll see the link for that. Now, when I talk about daily discipline, or when you hear me say daily discipline, I basically just mean like that daily self-improving, that daily going against your emotions. I think that that's something that we have to really understand, that is the key for us to building ourselves as men. That's that basic self-improvement of, if you want to get healthier, if you want to make more money in life, you have to do things on a consistent basis that you might not want to do. And I'm not a guy who's this mastered everything. I have to do this, as well. And I've been at times where I struggled, where I didn't eat healthy. I wasn't, working out. I wasn't making the type of money I wanted to make, right? And I understand when you want to get somewhere in life, not just survive, not just, just be there and just survive and just get by. If you want to thrive in life, it takes you doing things you don't want to do. It takes you going against the grain when it comes to like you staying true to yourself. And you have to stay committed to that, because a lot of times people won't have the belief in themselves to stay disciplined towards something they want to do in life, because their environment will tell them that that's not possible. That's no way that can happen. And just many things that can come in that can cause you to stop doing things for yourself, disciplining yourself. And I think that one thing we have to embrace more of in the black community is goal setting. That's one thing, like whenever I have kids, and what I want to teach to the youth is to have goals, have plans, have dreams, and don't let nobody stop you from whatever you want to do in life. Whatever you want to do in life, don't let anybody stop you. And that's a daily process of you believing in yourself. That's a daily process of you putting those actions in, and putting those actions into reality, taking action, doing what you're supposed to do. And I think that when we want to be happier, when we want to have a higher quality life, we can't live off of emotions. We can't live off of, I'm just going to do whatever I want to do. Things have to be structured. Things have to be a certain way in order to get that desired outcome. And I think with black men, we can get caught up in this self-destructive mentality of, oh, it's cool to not do what I'm supposed to do. It's cool to go against improving myself, actually. And you won't hear a black man say that, but by actions, you can tell that the things that are actually good for you, people don't do. People don't glorify that. We only glorify when somebody is a thug or a rapper, or something that's culturally accepted. And usually a lot of the times in the black community, like I say over and over and over again, it's the self-destructive things that are accepted in the community, man. And I think that a lot of this comes with self-belief, because daily discipline, bro, that's something that's like the foundation of us really improving and changing, and not only community improvement, but individual improvement, just you as a black man. I think that that's something we have to really look at, not just, okay, the community got to do better. It start with everybody doing better in their individual life. And so any black man out there, make sure you're doing whatever you're supposed to do in your daily life, And I've had struggles in my life, man, where I would let my emotions get to me, and I would just act off of emotion. I would ruin opportunities that I would have for myself. It was times where I didn't believe in myself, so I didn't bother even trying to put in the hard work, right? Because there's many different things that can cause you to not be disciplined. And obviously it can be laziness that can cause you not to be disciplined, but sometimes people just believe it can't happen for them. People believe that they don't need to work towards something, right? Like with me, I want to be able to make money from, the internet. I want to be able to make money that way at some point in my life. And I think that there's so many things that can cause me to stop, and a lot of times it isn't laziness. It's the idea that, oh, it's not possible for me, it can't happen for me because it's not realistic, it's not what's gonna, you get what I'm saying. It's so many things that can cause you to stop believing in yourself, and because you stop believing in yourself, you stop putting in that daily effort. Any black man out there, no matter what it is, even if it don't feel good right now, if you have a goal in your life, work towards it, even when you don't want to do it, even when you feel like it's not going to work out, even when you failed, you got to get up and try again. You got to get up and keep going, right? And that's another thing that has to be a part of our culture, to relentlessly go for things, not just sit back every time something, don't go your way. It's really just that relentless mentality of, you know what, I'm going to do this until something happens for me. I'm going to fail. I'm going to get back up. I'm going to learn something new, and I'm going to do better. And I'm not going to stop until I get there, right? Because when you have that mentality, you never really fail. And it's just the daily self-improvement, the daily discipline. Today I believe I just ran a mile today. And my goal is to run probably a sub 6-minute mile every day, because I have experience running and stuff, and I think that that's one of the things I would say that's good for me as far as my mentality, because it's things out there that you can do that can help you with your mentality, help you stay sharp, and that's just personally what I like to do. But no matter what, do things to keep your mind sharp, do things that cause you to keep believing in yourself, keep putting in the work every single day. Eat healthy every single day. Do everything you can to improve yourself every day. And I think that also comes with you getting over fear, because that's one thing that can get a lot of us to that fear of being judged, that fear of being looked at a certain way. Stand up for what you believe in. Stand up for your goals. That's another aspect of all of this we have to look at. Don't be a black man out there who's scared to say what you want to say. Me and my brother, I was on the phone with him, and we was having a little argument, and he basically, not to come at him, but people will use personal attacks to invalidate to try to invalidate what you're saying. But when you're talking about it, nothing you say is irrational, or it doesn't make sense. People try to use things or personal attacks to come at you in a way where it invalidates it. And I'm only saying this, I'm only bringing that story up because believe in yourself regardless of the people who you have to be able to see through when people are trying to they're trying to just invalidate what you're saying by saying, oh, this is that way and that is this way and you're this way, so you don't need to try to do that, right? If you have a ideology or a belief system about something, stand on it, regardless of what people try to pick on you about or what people try to say to you. Stand on whatever you believe in, but make sure it's backed by not just emotion and passion, but by logic and detail, and it's reasonable for you to believe what you believe. So that's pretty much all I got to say. Peace out.